Final Fantasy VII Remake is just another in a slew of HD and 4K remakes that have plagued us over these past couple years. With the first true one being the Resident Evil 2 remake and the Resident Evil 3 remake that came out earlier this year. Final Fantasy VII is a ambitious remake that millions of fans have been waiting for decades. And now that it's finally here, everybody has a chance to play it and see it in all its glory. Now, Final Fantasy VII doesn't disappoint in the gameplay aspect, as it took a page out of Resident Evil 2's book and decided to go with a third-person camera instead of the standard camera that the original Final Fantasy VII had. And I think that this is going to be a trend with remakes that have had top-down perspectives and now are going to shift more towards a third-person perspective just because it's more modern and it's more enjoyable as a remake in the current age. Final Fantasy VII first came out in 1997, which was 23 years ago, and to see how far technology has come in the past 20 years, that we can get such good remakes such as the Resident Evil 2 remake and the Final Fantasy VII remake, it really shows how far technology has come and can still go, as who knows, in a couple years there may be a Final Fantasy VII Part 2, because the base game isn't actually the full game. It only lets you explore Midgard, but it's so polished and refined that it's basically like a whole game. And you're only experiencing part of it, but it still feels like the entire game. Now, Final Fantasy VII is just one of many fantastic remakes that have come out in these past couple years. And it really shows that people actually want this game and have actually been pushing for it. And that Square Enix has finally delivered in probably one of the best remakes they've made of Final Fantasy in a while, just because so many people have been waiting for this remake. And all those other Square Enix games, Final Fantasy games that they remade, haven't even come close to this level of quality that the Final Fantasy VII has come. And Final Fantasy VII, the remake, plays more like Final Fantasy XV with its non-linear gameplay, and you can change between characters to play as different characters in battle with characters that have more of an edge than others, and it's more RPG type playstyle. Final Fantasy VII also offers a lot of freedom when it comes to exploring Midgard, and you can actually do many things that you weren't able to, which seems why they fleshed out more of Midgard, as you get to experience it, a lot more of it, and you get to do a lot of more side missions and whatnot. There are also a lot of expansive storylines that you can run into, which you would never know have existed until you actually run into them. It's just Square Enix has done so much to polish this game and do what they can to adore to the fans that once loved this game and have time to love it all over again. Final Fantasy has been adored by millions of fans over the years, and to finally see a remake of one of the most loved and most popular ones of the Final Fantasy games, and to actually have it polished and well done, it just really puts a smile on my face to see that the people at Square Enix actually want this game to turn out good. Because if you've seen the other remakes that Square Enix has done, they don't look nearly as good as this game, because I can tell that Square Enix has really put a lot of work and effort into making this one of the best Final Fantasy games, and really gives you the same feeling and tone as when you were playing it originally. Final Fantasy VII is an ambitious game that packs a lot in a few hours, and can really, after you finished it, leave you wanting to play it again and again and again. And it it's nice to see a game that doesn't just try and capitalize off their fan base and just makes a game that's enjoyable and can give you hours of gameplay and content. And now, with this pandemic going all around, people can really play this game to the full extent and experience everything that they've wanted to. The Final Fantasy VII Remake is probably one of the most ambitious remakes that has ever been made by Square Enix. Now, there have been other good remakes that have come out, like Resident Evil 2 and 3, and those are also good remakes. But nobody has been begging for a remake more than Final Fantasy VII. I mean, the Final Fantasy VII Remake is the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive, and it has hit 3.5 million units in its first 3 days of release. And while the Final Fantasy that came out in 1997 has only hit 11 million copies, it is still a marvel to see 3.5 million people that want to play this game, that have been waiting years to play this game. And to make it one of the fastest selling PlayStation exclusive games ever, it really shows how many people wanted this game and have been waiting years for this game. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you liked the video, make sure to like and subscribe for more content from The Alienist.